Yeah, speaking of that,
So yeah,
so over the past week, we had a chance to go visit something called Podcast Movement, and it was a convention or
yeah,
a
conference,
conference,
convention, networking
yeah,
opportunity.
for podcasters.
Yeah,
It was super informative, super fun,
overwhelming about how
overwhelming
much
amount of
information
information.
there was.
Oh my god! Like so, so we work conferences,
Right.
and it had that vibe, less clinical,
Well, yeah,
but that
it's
vibe,
not a medical conference, so yeah.
right? But then also like I've done
Nam.
like NAM, yeah, which is more of a there was I thought it was going to be a lot like NAM because I assumed we were going to be going and looking at products and which we were, you know,
Yeah.
like software companies and stuff. Here's where the future of the tech you're going to be using is. And then that was going to be mixed with here's where the future of this medium that we're in,
Mhm.
podcasting, right? And if you're not a podcaster, you're not into podcasting or anything like that, you know, we're not going to get into all that stuff, but it
Yeah.
does apply still to everybody because it's more about like so we've been doing this thing that's been a passion of ours, and we've done it for 3 years now, where it's been fun, but it's also been work trying to turn it into like a tangible maybe not a job, but like we'd like to have it as a job,
Yeah.
you know?
Income, if you will.
Yeah. So trying to make it successful. So anything that you do that's not your normal job that takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and it takes putting money in and putting time in and you're trying to up your return on that investment and that's what this has been for us. So it's comparable to lots of things
Sure.
that you guys would be doing, whether you're on a bowling league or a softball team or um, whatever kind of extra thing, or you're in a band or you're whatever else you're doing. So we decided to put the money and the time into going to this conference to kind of learn more about the medium and about what we're doing. And what we learned is that luckily our instincts so far have been pretty good about how we're doing this,
Mhm.
right? But the one thing that we were asked that threw me off, that's been throwing me off for probably the last year.
Well, I think it's like it's been something that we've been discussing
Yeah.
for
What is this?
at least a year,
Yeah.
if not more.
Define your show.
No, it's definitely more than a year.
What does it mean? What is it for? And that's been the biggest thing for us because at the end of the day, we're trying to entertain you. So we're trying to make content that either entertains you or makes you think or is just something that you want to come back to because you either uh, like us or you want to learn about the bands that we have on or whoever we have on or it's kind of like that what master are we serving? What are we trying to do here? And for both of us, it's funny because we're both musicians. So our actions were making this into like basically a very music forward, music centric podcast.
Right.
But if you were to ask us what our goal was, our
It's not
goals
for
were
that.
very much like not that. It was more like, hey, we want to make something that entertains people but makes people um, think about their own lives and look for the stuff that they enjoy to do to remind people to take a second and uh, take a second and enjoy your bacon.
Right.
You know, that thing that you nerd out about, like spend some time on it. And we wanted to have a show where like people were able to come on and talk about theirs. And that was allowing the listeners to kind of like find a camaraderie with people. And if that helped people, if that helped musicians get their song listened to, awesome.
Yeah.
Right. But it's been super hard trying to figure out how to define that or to present it to you guys in a way that achieved that goal.
Right.
I don't know as listeners, you guys were getting that from the show, please let us know if you were or you
Sure.
weren't. But that's always been the goal. So going to this was very much like it was like, okay, it's time to really define this.
Yeah,
And-
that
and-
was the first thing that I was very much going into this as, because we've been posing that question. It's something that you brought up a little while ago, and I was
Right.
like, yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, what is this? What are we doing? What is our end goal here? And it was something that never truly clicked because we were missing something. We were missing like a vital piece of information.
Right. Our North Star,
Right.
or at least just
No, we had our North Star.
defining it.
What's your bacon?
defining
right.
it,
But how we approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to jump completely to like ahead to the end of the conference.
Yeah, right.
But we sat down with somebody that that listened to the show
As a first time,
as a
Cold,
first time cold listener.
never. Yeah.
Sat down with us, and the first thing he said was, okay, I see you guys are in the music space, but you sound like you're trying to be in the comedy space. And that was his first thing. And I was like, wow, I'm neither of those things are what I'm thinking we're going for. Like, we're musicians and we love music, and we also hope that it's entertaining and funny.
Mhm.
But neither of those things are where I wanted to be with this show, and you as well. So it was like, oh man, somebody that doesn't know us and is just coming in, we're getting that first opinion.
Mhm.
What impression did we make? And it was that. And so right away I had to be like, oh man, I don't know about you, but like my brain, as soon as he said that, was like, oh, we have to change things.
Mhm.
Like we have to make some changes.